Well, today is day 4 at the Wigtown Book Festival, and first thing I went to this morning was a talk by A.N. Wilson, who is a newspaper columnist and author. He does biographies, all sorts of things. He's written a book about how to read the Bible, where he's wanting people to kind of look at the Bible in a different way, and to see it as a kind of, the major influence on Western civilization. And it was interesting, he was talking, the thing that I got while he was talking was how the Enlightenment came and kind of rent this sort of tear in history and sort of split. And beforehand, the Bible was for the people of the book. And technology came in, printing, Luther and everything, and suddenly it became the book of the people, which kind of changed everything. It was really interesting that somebody asked him about Jubilee and debt cancellation after 50 years. And later today we had Vince Cable, who was the Secretary of State for Business in Parliament, and I was wondering whether he might get asked that question. The little things that happened in this discussion this morning kept sort of cropping up in other things today. It's very interesting. He talked about actually how similar the creation of Darwin's Ascent of Man was to the Bible, and the Bible was kind of an assimilation of stories, and how Darwin, although it seems incredibly original what Darwin did, it was actually an assimilation of lots and lots of things that were building up, and he was there, the right man at the right time. And how you have this dichotomy between the Bible, which is about love and sacrifice, and the Ascent of Man, which is actually about selfishness and struggle, which really suited the Victorians and the rich man in his castle and the poor man's his gate. Darwin and the Ascent of Man sort of really helped the moral compass of exceedingly rich mill owners just to keep going. And then at lunchtime I met Tom Power, who's an author, and I just saw him. I thought, wonderful, I'll start drawing him. And as he was talking to somebody, I kind of worked out who he was, and he's written a book called 16-String Jack, and the Garden of Adventure, and about a garden where J.M. Barrie was kind of really influenced to start writing Peter Pan and all about pirates and that stuff, so I went and drew that. This is Stuart Kelly, who's an extraordinary man who's here for the whole Wigtown. He's been here ever since I've been coming here, and probably before I've been coming here, and he chairs lots of discussions, and he kind of reads a book and gets into it and knows all the right questions to ask, and has a very fast, deep intellect and goes straight to the right question, and is an excellent chair for all the variety of discussions that go on here at the Wigtown Book Festival. This is him having his lunch and just recharging his batteries, flowers on the table. I just saw him kind of having a moment of kind of relaxation and recharging his batteries, and I just drew him. I went in to see Tom Power's session halfway through. I kind of missed half of it. I didn't quite know. I worked out afterwards. He was talking about travellers' children, and he was saying about this character who found it very hard to learn when you're hungry. And these travellers' children in ancient times, they would have to fill in their books, and you've got to meet your attendances. If you don't attend enough lessons, you have to fill in your book. And there was the cruelty officer, that's right, you talked about the cruelty officer. If you didn't meet your attendances and visit school, go to school enough, you would be taken off your parents and sent out to Australia. It's quite shocking. He's talking about a character who was a traveller, and he was too hungry to go to school and learn, so he would go down to the beach and find cockles and mussels and things and cook them up with driftwood in a tin can on the beach. And this is Sean, who runs the bookshop here, and upstairs in the bookshop he opens his home for all the authors and people, presenters, to come and we had the writers' retreat up there, which is a wonderful place. And I was out rather late last night, so I spent most of the day in the writers' retreat just talking to people, drawing people. This is Sean. Outside his shop, he has this kind of concrete pile of books. It's a casting. It's great fun. It used to be real books that are covered in fiberglass, but they kept falling to bits. So he's had it cast in concrete. And as I was outside drawing these books, this vision of loveliness came past, and I noticed she had a Blue Peter badge on. I said, "Why have you got a Blue Peter badge?" She said, "Because she had just won the Blue Peter Book Prize for her book, The Spy Who Loved School Dinners." And so I said, followed her upstairs into the writer's retreat, and I drew her because she had this bright red cardigan and this bright blue dress with these white flowers all over it. And so while she was eating her lunch, I painted her because she just looked fabulous in all these colours. And then there were lots of conversations going on, and this gentleman arrived. I didn't know who he was. His name is Roger Windsor. He's been a vet, and he's been all around the world. And we were talking about various things, and we mentioned salami or something like that. And he said, "Oh yes, I've had zebra salami in Namibia." So I just wanted to draw zebra salami, which of course would be black and white. And so I had to draw Roger too. And while we were in discussion, this idea of rewilding rivers with beavers came about, and some people are very into sort of letting them, doing it scientifically, releasing beavers into the countryside. And this has been going on quite a lot up here in Scotland. And but some people have just been releasing them, and they've been colonising. So I kind of thought, maybe I'll go and rewild this whole book with released beavers and just put the odd beaver in every now and then. And also then the same lady said their guinea fowl had been attacked by crows, and they'd been trying to shoot them, but the crows just wouldn't die, and they've said these crows were wearing Kevlar vests. So I drew a crow, a Kevlar vest called Kev, of course. And here I am. I'm actually recording here in the kitchen at this pile of stuff. This is where I am staying at the moment. And Simon has been staying here too, and he's been doing masses of cooking. He's doing his final dinner tonight, and he's written a book all about chefs, chefing, and what it's like to work in kitchens and things like that. So he has been chopping away like mad here, chopping radishes and vegetables. And the way he's taken over the kitchen kind of reminds me, I feel like I'm a student sharing a student house again. He's been very naughty and leaving out all the washing up. But he has been cleaning up the washing up, but he's out now doing his big final event now as I'm recording this. And I've just been to see Vince Cable. I was right at the back, so he's doesn't quite look like this. My eyes are very tired. And as I say, he was the Minister for Business in the last government, and he was talking about the economic crash and all sorts of things like that. And his book is called After the Storms. I got this kind of stormy picture, and there we are. I'm just going to go and make myself some supper. I'm going to have to wash up some pots and pans first. Well, I hope you are enjoying these Wigtown Sketchbook videos, as that's the 4th, so there's another 8 to go. And if you really want to support this project, you can click that button and go over to my Kickstarter project and see all the wonderful rewards that I have on offer for you there. In the meantime, keep drawing, practice, and I'll see you next time. You take care now. Bye-bye.